Go.
Hey everyone, this is going to be me summing up our second class. I think everyone did fairly well today. I just wanted to say a few things that I didn't get to mention in the class, and as I was driving home talking with Jeff, we thought of these things and I kind of wish I would have said them. A few people asked me about correcting their dog, how hard that they should do it, and I really summed it up afterwards, and so I think what most people need to know is that you're going to want to correct your dog hard enough to make them not want to do it again. So if you give a correction and your dog jumps right back at it, that correction wasn't effective. You need it to be harder than that. And once you find that level, you need to maintain it. Every single time you give that dog a correction, it has to be that intensity level. If you fall back to doing a slight little tiny tap on the dog's collar, he's not going to learn the meaning of the correction. A correction means do not do that again. Therefore, you need it to mean do not do that again. So the intensity is going to be whatever it takes to make it so that your dog doesn't want to do that again. And we're not using the corrections right now in the learning phase. However, if you really don't want to do the lure, the marker training, if you don't want to do the marker training with the food, and you just want to yank and crank your dog, that's something that you can do. It's your own opinion, your own option. Just make sure you make your corrections hard enough that your dog doesn't want to do it again. And the other thing that I wanted to say was that training a dog is all about applying it. So no matter what I tell you in class, if you don't apply it into your everyday life, the dog's never going to be a good dog in everyday life. You have to always apply it. You have to realize that dogs are never to a point where they're trained. It's a constant thing. My dog right here, I feel like he's a very high-level dog that I don't even need to use a leash most of the time. We go for walks, and there's no leash involved, and I still give him corrections. There are still times that he's disobedient, and it's part of being a living thing. It's never going to be a perfect thing. It's not a robot, and so you always have to be working at it. Once you get to a certain level, it's going to be a less likely occurrence. You're not going to have to correct the dog as much. But in these beginning stages, there's going to be a lot of corrections involved until they learn what you expect of them. And the only way that they can learn what you expect of them is that if you apply what you expect of them. So if you don't want them to pull on the leash, every single time the dog has tension on the leash, you need to give a correction. Every single time. When you're walking into class, when you're walking out of class, when you're walking to your car, when you're walking up to your front porch, even if your dog's excited, it doesn't matter. He cannot pull on the leash. There has to be absolutely no tension all the time in order for you to have a dog trained to never have tension on the leash. So those were the two things that I just wanted to really drill into you guys. Those are super important. So I was thinking next week we will probably start using more correction. I want you to continue using your marker words through this week with the beginning steps of the sit and the down and the heeling. But next week we're going to incorporate more correction, and I'll show you how to do that more. If you still don't understand what I'm saying, I will help each and every one of you individually. And we're going to start doing recall, which is become command, and we'll probably do a little more heeling away from the wall. I feel like everyone's doing a fairly good job at that. Against the wall, and I noticed quite a few of the dogs could already do it away from the wall, so I don't know how much time we really need to spend there. Those of you that are interested in competition stuff, we will probably stay against the wall with you guys a little bit more. because that's an important thing. The precision healing is very important in competition, but just overall, I think we're going to move on from that next week. So expect to do more of the correction-based training next week. Don't want to forget anything here. I think that's all I have to say for now. Oh, there was one other thing. I posted a video last week about boundary training your dog, and it was in a doorway. And after we did that video and posted it, I realized that I never explained how to release your dog once they're staying in the boundary. So once your dog is in the boundary, you're going to have a command like okay or free or something that means that they can get up. And we're actually going to learn that next week. When they're in a sit or down, so they're always going to be staying there until you release them. So we're going to make a word that's going to be a release word. And you would use that release word to release them through a boundary after they are staying there until you want them to come through it. So that's how you would end that, if anyone was wondering. But, alright, well, we'll post another video, maybe not tomorrow, but Wednesday. So look for it then.